There was no official announcement, there was no press conference, there is not a single statement that unambiguously explains what really happened, but since photos of the covers of the British, Japanese and Korean editions of Rolling Stone featuring JungKook circulated, one thing has become clear: this is no ordinary photo shoot. Something feels different, that it's not just about visuals, that it's not just about the concept. Not only because JungKook appears more mature, calmer, and more silent than usual, but because there are too many small details that seem to want to be hidden, but that's exactly what makes the public can't stop talking about it, and strangely, all parties chose silence, covers that look simple, but invite too much interpretation at first glance. The cover of Rolling Stone looks minimalistic, no noise, not full of property, not as explosive as idol shooting in general. JungKook stood, or sat with a gaze that made no attempt to tease the camera, not a big smile, not challenging, quite the opposite. His gaze seemed to penetrate something invisible to the reader. The media called it artistic, fans call it intimate, but others began to ask slowly, why does it feel like we're peeking at something we shouldn't be looking at? The question was never officially answered, but that's exactly where the little rumors started to grow. Point 3 states, one face, but different energies. What makes the situation even more interesting is the fact that Rolling Stone did not release only one version. England, Japan, Korea. Point 3 different editions. Point 3 different visual approaches. However, one common thread: JungKook's silenced and the British edition. JungKook looked like a musician who had seen too many things. In the Japanese edition, the shades are softer, almost crumbly, while in the Korean edition, the expression is actually the most difficult to guess. Netizens began to compare poses, analyze camera angles, calculate shoulder distance, eye gaze direction, even finger position, and from there comes one cryptic conclusion that is widely circulated on fan forums: it's not just a concept. It's a message. Message to whom, and about what? No one dared to answer directly. Behind the scenes that are never fully shown. Usually, a big photo shoot will be accompanied by a cheerful behind-the-scenes video, laughter, joke, snippets of relaxing moments between shots, but for this Rolling Stone shoot, the behind-the-scenes cut that circulated felt selective, too neat, too short, too much focus on technical aspects. Long chat footage. There are no scenes of JungKook joking excessively, there are no usual out of control moments that make fans smile. Some fans even call it, it's like behind the scenes hiding the story. And when something feels hidden, the public wants to know more. Stylist, photographer, and team who suddenly save the word. Usually, after a big photo shoot, stylists and photographers will compete to share stories, how the idol behaves, about how professional he is on location, about the little details that impress them. But in this case, the comments that appear are precisely safe. No extra stories. No personal anecdotes. There is no funny incident. As if there was an unwritten agreement not to talk too much. And again, the public asked, why? JungKook's gaze that can't be faked. One thing that is most often talked about is JungKook's eyes in this photo shoot. Not because it looks tired, not because it looks explicitly sad, unless it looks too honest. Some old fans say, that's not idol. It's a human gaze. Some have commented, it's like someone is at peace with something. But JungKook himself never explained the meaning of the expression, not in the interview, not in the live broadcast, not in social media posts, and the absence of that explanation actually makes speculation grow out of control. Release time that feels weird. Another thing that is quietly noticed is the timing. The photo shoot was released in a moment that some fans considered calm, not at the peak of promotion, not coinciding with the big announcement. But precisely because of this, the impact is felt stronger. As if Rolling Stone wanted to say something without having to shout. Or it was as if JungKook wanted to show a certain side without having to explain it in words. Fans began to assemble their own pieces of the story on social media. Theories began to emerge. Some have attributed it to JungKook's maturing phase as an artist. Some see it as a symbol of transition. Some felt that this photo shoot was the finale of a long chapter in his life. There are no confirmed theories, there is no dispute whatsoever, and that's where the power of this story lies. A silence noisier than the official statement in the Korean entertainment world. Silence often speaks more than clarification. When all parties choose not to explain, the public knows that something wants to be left open to interpretation, and Rolling Stone, as a medium with a long history, certainly understands the effects of such a strategy. The question is no longer, what happened? Except, Why do we only realize it now? And here's the part I've been waiting for, all the speculation, all the little details, all that silence leads to one thing that just feels obvious at the end, that this British, Japanese, and Korean Rolling Stone cover shoot is not about promotion, that it's not about visuals, that it's not about the train, rather, it is about one personal moment of Jungkook that is deliberately packaged as art, not as recognition. Something he didn't want to say, but he allows us a glimpse, without explanation, and perhaps precisely because of this, the shooting felt so imprinted, not because of what was said, except for what is intentionally left unspoken.